So we want some liberals to call because I want to work this out. I want to work this out. We have one right here. Jen, San Diego, Sirius Satellite. How are you, Jen?
Hi, how you doing?
Okay. How may I help you, Jen?
Well, I'm a liberal Democrat, and I'm glad that you invited me to call. And I support...
I'm not going to invite you to dinner, but we can do this. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that we should have socialized medicine. I think that health care should be a right. I'm a school teacher, and I think that all children should have, free government-paid health care.
Yeah. Well, I love all children. Are you aware of that, Jen?
I'm sure you do.
Including dreamers. Do you love dreamers, Jen?
You know what? The school where I work is just chock full of dreamers.
They're filled with dreamers. And I think they're all good people, aren't they?
Most of them, yeah.
Excuse me. No, they're all good people, aren't they, Jen?
All of them. All.
Tell you what, why don't you hold on? I'm not done chatting with you, and I obviously want to promote a bipartisan agenda. So stay with me, Jen. I'll be right back.
He's here. Now, broadcasting from the underground command post, deep in the bowels of a hidden bunker, somewhere under the brick and steel of a nondescript building, we've once again made contact with our leader, Mark Levin.
Hello, everybody. Mark Levin here. Our number, 877-381-3811. And we have a liberal line, 877-381-3811. And so, because it's the in thing, and I think I can be praised for this as an outsider, I want us to be more bipartisan on this program. I'm sick and tired of Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan. I'm sick and tired of the Republican establishment. All these years, I've been trying to get them removed. They're entrenched. So I think I need to go around them and work on a bipartisan basis with the Democrats and the liberals. And I met a new friend, Jen, in San Diego on Sirius Satellite. Jen, you're a school teacher, you said, correct?
Yeah, and I've been listening to your show for a long time.
And I just think it's time, don't you?
Yeah, I think everyone needs to come together. I think it's time.
And the way to come together, you will agree, is to embrace liberalism, don't you think? Because it is the come-together ideology.
I don't know about that. You have to look at both sides.
Okay, let's look at both sides.
All right.
Can we look at both sides of health care? Tell me what both sides are.
Well, I think the real problem with it is the medical billing system and the profit-driven delivery.
Yes.
That's what I think is just ruining it.
So profit's the biggest problem.
Exactly.
Yes.
We have to put people before profits.
People, I like that. People before profit.
You can use that.
Can I steal that from you?
Yeah, you can. It's yours for free.
All right. People before profit. I like that.
Yeah,
but what about people before profit? How about people have rights too? Do you like that one?
People can have some rights, sure. I don't know where you're going with that. So it's
what do you mean? Well, Bernie Sanders said health care is a right. You don't agree with that?
Yeah, health care is a right. Now, don't start Bernie bashing on me. We're making some friendship progress here.
We are, and we all know Bernie doesn't bash anybody. Now, let me ask you this, Jen.
Just hold back a little.
You have government-run health care, don't you, pretty much? I mean, you're a school teacher, so the school system pays for your health care, and you contribute into it as well, I assume. Is that correct?
I'm very appreciative for my health care, yeah.
Okay, so when you go to a doctor or a hospital and they don't give you the care you want, are they denying you a right?
No, they are not. I have health care that we pay for.
No, but if you go to a hospital or a doctor and they deny you a certain drug, procedure, care, whatever, or you can't see them when you want to see them, are they denying you a right?
Well, they would be, theoretically, but health care I think theoretically should be a right, but we are not given that right.
Well, I mean, if we had a national single-payer Medicare-style health care system for the entire country, would you be prepared to give up your health care?
Yes, I would. And I know that the health care I would get under that nationalized system would not be as good as the health care I have now.
So you know hold on now. So you know the national health care system would be inferior to what you have.
Right. I would take one for the team.
But there's a lot of people who'd have to take one for the team, right?
Yeah.
And why is that?
Because I have probably one of the best health care.
No, but why would everybody have to take one for the team? What's that all about?
Okay, in Australia, for instance,
I don't care about Australia. I'm asking you about America. Why would everyone have to take one for the team? What does that mean?
Because I am looking at places where they have gone to a national healthcare system and where they have already done this and seen how it has resulted when people are allowed to keep private insurance.
Now, wait a minute. So you think people should be able to keep their private insurance if they want to?
Well, I'm saying that in Australia, when people were allowed to keep private insurance...
All right, we're going all over the map here. In Australia, when they were... Would you trade our healthcare system for the Canadian healthcare system?
Yes, I would.
Do you know anything about the Canadian healthcare system?
Yeah, and I've talked to Canadian people who are quite happy.
Canadian people call here all the time and can't stand their healthcare system. Do you want to know why? Listen to me, Jen. Jen, you're invading my safe space. You're triggering me. Are you with me, Jen? Jen, listen to me. You're triggering me. You're triggering me. You're getting into my safe space. I want to explain something to you. There are long, long waiting periods in Canada, even with people who have cancer. Do you think that's a good idea?
You know, the waiting periods aren't that long.
No, they are long. In fact, I've talked about them before. You have access to Google?
I do have access to the Google.
No, it's called Google, not the Google. What I want you to do is...
I call it the Google.
Okay. Well...
That's my favorite.
Hey, I like that one, too. People over profit, the Google. Do you capitalize THE?
No, it's just lowercase.
Anyway, what do you call bling? You call it the bling?
Yeah, it's the bling.
Okay. I want you to Google, the Google, Canadian healthcare and waiting periods. Will you do that when I hang up? You're a teacher. You know how to do all that stuff.
I'll figure it out.
Okay. So here we are going forward, and it's been a pleasure.
Well, Mark, I just want you to know something.
Yes, Jen.
The reason that I would give up my Cadillac healthcare system for a national healthcare system is because I care about my Republican and my conservative
of course you do.
friends. I care about them.
Yes,
and not just my liberal friends. I care about all Americans.
Because you're a good progressive. You have a big heart. You love everybody.
I care about everybody out there listening.
I know you do, including the taxpayers who pay confiscatory property taxes to subsidize your health care. You care about them, too.
And I want to thank them for that.
Yeah, okay. But you won't give it back, will you?
It depends. We could work something out. So,
all right, Jen. Jen, I got to go on. I'm getting bored. No offense. Thank you for your call. Much appreciated. Now we move to Kurt, Green Bay, Wisconsin, the great WTAQ. Yes, Kurt, how may I help you?
Well, we are talking about health care, and I am a big fan of Medicare for All and glad to see that it's getting some traction.
Yeah, me too. But let me ask you a question. Since the trustees of Medicare say it's going to go bankrupt in about 15 years, what do we do about that?
Well, we properly fund it, and
Medicare... No, but it's in the hole by trillions and trillions of dollars. And so when you I'm serious about that. So when our gross domestic product is about $17.6 trillion, and Medicare is in extremis, and it's in debt in an amount that's larger than the entire gross domestic product, and you want to expand it. I'm just curious how what a leftist would do about that. Go ahead.
Well, the thing is, the health.
Please answer my question. I don't answer my question.
Well, I am answering your question if you would allow me a moment.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
We need to contain costs, and Medicare has low administrative costs. We pay more in this country.
No, it doesn't. There's a massive amount of abuse in Medicare, and the government itself puts out reports slapping itself on the face over the abuses in Medicare.
Well,
10%, sir. It's all there on Google. What do you do for a living? Are you a teacher?
I work for a life insurance company.
You work for? Then you know how to use the Google too. So you ought to use the Google and inform yourself. See, I'm trying to come up with solutions, and you're being way too ideological. So how do we make sure everybody who has a right to health care, and of course nobody has the right to a profit, how do we make this work, sir?
Well, how we make it work, we already pay more than any other country for health care. We eliminate the waste.
Well, we can start cutting those costs by cutting your health care.
Well, I pay plenty for my health care.
Well, we want you to pay less, so you'll have less access.
And I will.
Okay, great. I don't want to cut costs. This is what always... We pay more than any other country in the world for our health care. Well, what do you want to pay for, sir? You want to buy more? You want to buy another car? You want to buy a bigger house? Want to buy 15 iPhones? What do you want to do?
I want to make sure that everyone has access to health care.
No, you don't. You want to make sure the government controls health care. That doesn't mean everybody has access to quality health care. That means the government controls health care.
Introduced Medicare Part D. Part of the legislation did not allow the government to negotiate with drug companies. That's certainly a great start to reduce
Sir,
costs.
We're in the hole trillions of dollars in Medicare. That's not going to do a damn thing.
Fund it properly because people are paying money.
But how do you want to fund it?
The premiums that people are currently paying.
I asked you, how do you want to fund Medicare?
Well, we would fund it. Well, I get away from the employer-based system that we currently have.
Okay, well, I'm going to try again. And you left this. You never have answers. How do you want to fund it? I didn't ask you what you want to get away from. How do you want to fund it? It's in the hole trillions of dollars. You want to expand it to include every human being in America, all 320 million. How do you want to fund it?
Well, of course you fund it by taxes, so people would offset. You would pay more taxes, but you would more than make up decreased premiums.
No, you wouldn't.
Better care.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. What about the Veterans Administration? Is that what's happened there?
Now, the VA has a separate system. I think the veterans deserve good health care in this country. I
didn't ask you about what you think and feel. I asked you, isn't the Veterans Administration the kind of model you're talking about?
No, because they have their own hospitals. I'm not talking about having the hospitals run individually by the government.
Why? Why not?
I'm saying that the private health...
Why shouldn't the hospitals be run by the government? And by the way, what's wrong with that? In fact, why shouldn't the doctors work for the government?
I like the system. You know, you talked about Canada, and I'm sure that
Canada's a disaster.
Not happy, but that system, and it would take.
Everybody wants to talk about Canada. You don't know a damn thing about the Canadian healthcare system, do you?
Oh, please. Oh, why would you say that to me, not knowing me one bit?
Okay, tell us about the Canadian healthcare system.
Well, I can tell that you're not a very good listener. And
tell the whole country about the Canadian healthcare system. So far, you've been rambling and rambling, and you haven't said a damn thing. Tell me about the Canadian healthcare system. Mr. Producer, give him the 20-second liberal clock. Go.
Here, I'll give you this. I live in Paul Ryan's district, and he has Randy Bryce running against him. Paul Ryan has been misrepresented.
So far, ladies and gentlemen, you see the problem here, don't you? Here I am trying to be, trying to be kind and beneficent, and Kurt doesn't have any answers. You don't have any answers. What do you think about your quarterback, Rodgers, who think it's okay that Kaepernick kneeled? What do you think about that one? Oh, he left. I guess he's angry. You know the old saying, don't go away angry, just go away. Anyway, I'm not done. I'm serious. I want to talk to serious, intelligent leftists who are going to tell us what kind of system they want and how it's going to work. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
Here are the wait times in Canada. For neurosurgery, 46.9 weeks. That's almost a year. Orthopedic surgery, 38 weeks. Ophthalmology, 28.5 weeks. Plastic surgery, 26 weeks. Gynecology, 18.8 weeks. We're talking almost 5 months. Urology, 16.2 weeks. Over 4 months. Internal medicine, 12.9 weeks. Radiation oncology. Now, this is life and death for a lot of people. 4.1 weeks. That's a month. General surgery, 12.1 weeks. That's 3 months. Cardiovascular, 8.4 weeks. That's the heart. Medical oncology, 3.7 weeks. Now, that's your national health care, and it cost the average citizen there a fortune. And by the way, we've had callers from Canada call here and say, and by the way, it's not all free, they tell us. We pay an enormous amount of taxes, plus we have to pay fees. Because it's an impossibility. These systems cannot possibly work, and they don't work. And so what happens is you have rationing. So the sickest among us and the oldest among us suffer the most. They suffer the most because that's where the expense is. Charles, New Windsor, New York, the great WABC, go. Okay, let's move on. Ray, Poughkeepsie, New York, the great WKIP, go.
Yes, hi, you got a beautiful city of Poughkeepsie here. How you
All right,
doing?
sir, thank you. Yep.
I'm really honored to talk to an educated person. I study history of my life.
Okay, what do you have for me? We're going to run out of time.
Okay. I just want to say that President Nixon is the first president to declare the war on cancer and the research and the development that we've come a long way. Barack Obama, everyone's bashing the Affordable Care Act, and what's happening is it's a stepping stone. It's
stepping stone to what? Disaster?
Opened and more health care provided.
No, it's not. When insurance companies are pulling out and individuals who used to afford health care can't afford it anymore with these massive deductibles, when insurance companies are pulling out of counties because they don't want to go broke, when we, the taxpayer, are forking over billions and billions of dollars in subsidies left, right, and in between, when in fact the Obamacare is essentially a government-run redistribution program, doctors want to get out of health care, and that's going to become a problem. What are you talking about? It's a stepping stone to what?
It's a stepping stone. It's
to what?
Not perfect, but guess what?
Hey, pal. Nobody said anything's perfect. And I'm tired of these platitudes from the left. Here we are staring in the face of a disastrous government-run centralized program where everything we were told turns out to be the opposite, and you tell us it's a stepping stone. Like I say in my first chapter of Ameritopia, this is the viewpoint of the utopian. The utopian progressive. They will tell you that whatever they have, of course it doesn't work. It's imperfect because we need more. Obamacare didn't work, so we need government-run health care. That doesn't work. Why? Because the insurance companies are ripping us off. The drug companies are ripping us off because patients expect too much. They're getting too old. We got to, write off people who are over 80 years old. Or maybe these people with really rare diseases. We shouldn't be focusing so much funds on that. We have to focus funds on the greater good. I got that about right, Ray, in Poughkeepsie, New York?
Well, you know what?
You better start, you know what, pal? You really better start thinking this stuff through.
Is this. You know what? Barack Obama put so much stop to all the government corruption and the fraud.
Oh, really? And how did he do that?
Preventive medicine.
How did he do that?
How did he do that?
Yeah.
We had so much Medicaid fraud where they're doing...
Yeah, you're going to just repeat yourself, aren't you? I asked you how, and you repeated yourself.
Oh.
That's not how. That's propaganda. Thanks for your call, Ray. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to get along with liberals, but it's very, very difficult. I'll be right back.